Call the meeting to order of the City of Frankfort Board of Commissioners. It's our February voting meeting, regular meeting. Today's February 23rd, it's 5 p.m. And before we call the roll, let's all stand if you're able and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. City Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Richardson?
Here.
Commissioner Unger?
Present.
Commissioner May?
Here.
Commissioner Smith-Willis?
Here.
Mayor Wilkerson?
Present. And no ceremonial or recognition tonight. We'll begin with citizens' comments, and we have three here. If you come up to the podium, state your name. Reminder that we give you 5 minutes, and we will give you a warning. First, J.W. Blackburn, welcome to City Hall.
Hi, thank you. My name is J.W. Blackburn. I'm the magistrate of the 2nd District here in Franklin County, and I've got about 8,000 constituents I directly represent. I'm here tonight. You all have got your sewer, your second reading on the agenda for having different rates for the city and the county. And there's a lot of questions I've been getting, and I don't feel like we've had an opportunity to even discuss it with you guys. You know, it's part of our job as local government to provide services for the people in our county. And I understand it takes more money to go further. I get that. But also, you guys, you know, you're adding about 2,000 more customers with some free projects, with free money coming in. Thornhill, Forks of Elkhorn, Castle and Key. A few customers, they're going to be added onto the rolls that isn't really going to come out of the pockets of any of the taxpayers here in Franklin County. So I just think, you know, I've got all the other magistrates, they've been fielding questions, and we just want to have an opportunity to talk to you guys about them. And, you know, I'm not for or against, I just want some understanding. And just ask that you all table that for another night, but that's what I'm here for tonight for. So thanks so much.
And thank you.
Thank
I
you.
should have said Squire J.W. Blackburn. Thank you for coming. Next, we have County Judge Executive Michael Mueller. Welcome.
Hello, Mayor. I have to admit, this is a little different, being on this side of the screen. So, first and foremost, I want to thank each and every one of you for your service. I don't know if everyone realizes what it takes to sit in these positions. It's not easy. There's nothing easy about it. So I just want to personally thank you all for everything you do with the city. I am also here about the second reading of the sewers. You know, we're working on a lot of projects together, you know, the convention center and hopefully an auditorium and multiple other projects, you know, and I feel like that's going very well. To Squire Blackburn's point, you know, a lot of our concerns is just our constituents' concerns because we haven't been in the conversations. I believe one of the commissioners asked Mr. Hogston last meeting if, you know, you all have talked, if the sewer department has talked to the county about it, and his answer was no. So I just ask that you all would consider tabling this tonight. I'm not trying to push this away. I'm not for or against it. I think if we could just get, you know, a month or so, or a couple weeks to have a conversation, even if we just get everyone's questions together and meet with Mr. Hogston or whoever you all would like us to meet with, just to get things answered so we could answer our constituents. So that's all I have tonight. And again, I just want to say thank you for everything you do, and I appreciate you all giving me the opportunity to speak. Have a good meeting.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming. Questions? All right, next, Natalie Guashiri. Thank you for coming.
Hello. Hey, everyone. I'm Natalie Washiri. I'm originally from North Carolina, and my family, my husband Casey, and our two sons, this is Kai, and Asa, we have called Frankfort our home since August of 2021. So thank you for the opportunity to speak today about something that is both deeply personal to me and critically important to our community, which is the need for an indoor pool. When we moved to Frankfort from Georgetown, we did so because we had both gotten jobs here, so we decided to move here. And we did not know at the time that the downtown YMCA had been closed due to COVID and had been purchased by the Central Kentucky YMCA and would not reopen. Had we known that, we probably wouldn't be in Frankfort. But many of you know that I'm a strong advocate for an indoor swimming pool. I've emailed almost everybody here. I've also emailed the magistrates, and I have not gotten an email response from anyone except for Mayor Wilkinson. That is without Katima and Mr. Rob, I think is his name, because I have not emailed y'all in a while. So that has been kind of disappointing. But anyways, at our most recent, I'm also part of the Parks Advisory Board. So at our most recent Parks Advisory Committee meeting, we discussed the $400,000 restricted gift that was given to Swim with Purpose. And we wanted to, as a board, strongly urge that you think about financially supporting Swim with Purpose and making sure that that comes to fruition. We would also like the county to do that, but they're not my magistrates, so I don't know anything about that. This is something that I think we need to think about strongly, because it's not just about my children or myself, but it's also a community issue. It's about making sure that we have equity and stuff like that. So my son Kai, when he was 3, we did do swimming lessons at Juniper Hills. We started at 8 o'clock. It was great. But now they only run for swim lessons 9 to 10 a.m. And my son Asa, who is 2, will not be able to do swim lessons because we have to do drop off at the daycare by 9 p.m. So due to those scheduling constraints, he does not have access to swim lessons. We do go to YMCA, the Beaumont one, which is closest to Frankfort, I think, about once a month. And we shouldn't have to do that. Like when I was pregnant with Asa, I was driving to the Georgetown Pavilion twice a week to swim. And I think about other families who may not have the scheduling flexibility that my husband and myself have, the fact that we have the ability to drive to Georgetown or Lexington for swimming. I think some of y'all know the statistics around drowning, especially for young kids, 1 in 4 kids. That is the kids 1 to 4, that is the largest cause of death. It's also one of the second leading cause of death for kids 5 and older, for 5 to 14. But with black children, which I am black, so I have to bring that up, that is even more pronounced. They die at a larger rate than their white peers because there's no access to a swimming pool. So this is not only about them, it's also about our elders who do not have access to an indoor facility during the wintertime. You know, we've been hit very hard by winter storms this year. So hopefully an indoor swimming pool will be able to support not only our youngest, but our oldest in the community. I know there is an interlocal agreement that was shared between FIS, the county, the city. But realistically, when will that come to fruition? But with this money from, hopefully that Swim with Purpose could produce with this year, with hopefully the support of the city and the county, we were able to get a swim pool this year, hopefully. So like I said, as a Parks Advisory Board member, I do believe in expanding access to swimming facilities. As a mother, there's my other child right there crawling on the floor. I believe in that even more so. And quite frankly, if we don't get a pool in Frankfort pretty quickly, I think we're probably going to have to move out of this town because, like I said earlier, my husband and I are not from Kentucky. We're not from Frankfort, but this is where we have chosen to be so far. So I don't know if that's my time, but thank you for hearing me.
No, thank you, and thank you for your service to the Parks Advisory Board. And we're glad you're here. I will say that to that point, we did meet with the Finance Committee last week, did meet with the Swim with Purpose and Kentucky State, and we just needed an agreement worked out. I don't know what dollar amount might come out of that, but we certainly need the agreement first in terms of who's going to run it and who's going to operate it and the budget in the future. I think that's the big sticking points. But Commissioner Smith-Willis?
I'll just follow up on that. I actually took it upon myself to go to the Finance Committee across the way with the county, just to kind of make sure that messaging is aligned and the information is aligned on my end. As somebody that has a 4-year-old, I did the Juniper Hills swim lessons this summer. I don't want my baby drowning. I don't, I know how to swim to a degree, but that's it. So I could also utilize it myself. My main concerns were, of course, just, with the feedback from the community, what capacity could we use the Kentucky State University pool? That's important to me when we're putting up a substantial amount of money when we might not even have the full capacity to utilize it. So that was really my only my concern at the time, but I did go to the committee meeting with the county, and of course I went to ours too, because this is very important. So I just wanted you to know that it's not just a conversation falling under the way. It is happening, and we just need an agreement from Kentucky State to move forward. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next, we'll move on to the consent calendar.
Item number 1 on the consent calendar are the minutes. Special meeting January 6, 2026. Work session January 12, 2026. Regular meeting January 26, 2026. Number 2, poly mediation. Staff requests that the Board of Commissioners approve and authorize the mayor to sign a mediation settlement agreement with Poly Construction. The city disputed change order submitted by Poly in connection with the construction of the Farmers Market Pavilion. The mediation resulted in a reduction in the change orders from $115,631 to $60,000. Item number 3, SCADA software upgrade and alarm notification software with Lovo Systems Incorporated, Sewer Department. Staff is recommending the acceptance of 2 proposals for SCADA software upgrade and alarm notification software with Lovo Systems Incorporated for monitoring wastewater treatment plant and pump stations, and to authorize the mayor to sign all related documents. Total cost of $104,640. This item was budgeted. Item number 4 is a professional services agreement with Arcadis US Incorporated, Sewer Department. Staff's recommending a professional services agreement with Arcadis US for additional refinements to hydraulic modeling of the sanitary sewer systems and to assist in submitting annual reports to the Kentucky Division of Water, and to authorize the mayor to sign all related documents. Total cost of $590,000. This is a budgeted item. Item number 5, Stantec PSA flood wall repairs, addendum number 1, Public Works. Staff is seeking Board of Commissioners approval for the professional services agreement, addendum number 1 with Stantec, and for the mayor to sign all related documents. Back in the floods of April, we had some damage to the flood wall at Jones Run Pump Station, the flood gate behind Buffalo Trace, and the flood wall at 2nd Street School. This addendum is an additional $49,864 and a total contract amount of $139,224 to be paid for from the stormwater account. Item number 6 are personnel actions. We have an appointment, Sam Hillard, Fire EMS, 2/3/2026 firefighter. Appointment, Christian Blake Shelton, Fire and EMS, 2/3/2026 firefighter. Appointment, Don Chisholm, Public Works Transit, 2/10/2026 transit driver, non-CDL. Appointment, Ashley Watts, HR, 2/10/2026 HR specialist. Appointment to Jordan LeCompte, Parks and Rec, 2/17/2026 assistant parks maintenance supervisor. Appointment, Josh Kelly, Public Works Streets, 2/10/2026 Public Works Tech Streets. Appointment, Lucas Wainscott, Sewer, 2/17/2026 Sewer Tech. Appointment of Jeff Johnson, Sewer Department, 2/17/2026 Sewer Tech. Appointment of Mallory Kubala, Police, 2/17/2026 Police Officer. Resignation of Michael Layer, Public Works, 2/19/2026 Building Maintenance Supervisor. Resignation, Ashley Watts, HR, 2/20/2026 HR Specialist.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion, questions on the consent calendar? Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to call for the roll.
Commissioner Richardson?
Yes.
Commissioner Unger?
Yes.
Commissioner May?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith Willis?
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson?
Yes, and the consent calendar is adopted. Next, boards and appointments. First, we have Board of Ethics. This is the appointment of Mary Nishimuda, expiring December 31st, 2028.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion on this board appointment? Commissioner Smith Willis?
I just want to thank Miss Mary for wanting to serve on the Ethics Board. These are not easy things to do, and it does take time. So I just wanted to say I appreciate you, and I look forward to working with you in some sort of capacity.
Commissioner Unger?
Same here. I'd like to just thank Mary Nishimuda for stepping up and being willing to sit on the Board of Ethics.
No further discussion. I'll ask the clerk to call for the vote.
Commissioner Richardson?
Yes.
Commissioner Unger,
Yes.
Commissioner May,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith Willis,
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson.
Yes. And thank you, Mary. That board appointment is adopted. And next is the number 2, Housing Authority. This is the appointment of Aaron Marshall, filling a vacant term. This expires January 29 of 2027.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion on this board appointment? Commissioner Smith Willis.
I also want to follow up with my previous comment. Aaron Marshall is a fantastic human being, and I think that the Housing Authority Board itself could definitely use her expertise. I'm super excited to see the work that she contributes, and thank you for your time and your service.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to call for the vote.
Commissioner Richardson,
Yes.
Commissioner Unger,
Yes, and thank you to Aaron.
Commissioner May,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith Willis,
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson.
Yes, and that board appointment passes. Thank you, Aaron. And we'll move on to action items.
An ordinance amending sections 52.01, 52.02, and 52.04 of the City of Frankfort Code of Ordinances regarding sewer service provision and fees. This ordinance amends sections 52.01, 02, and 04 to establish a requirement for capacity review of all new requests for sewer service over 400 gallons a day, require a capacity review fee of $500 for properties located outside the city limits, which is refundable upon successful annexation, require those properties outside of the city limits that share a physical boundary with these limits to request voluntary annexation into the city prior to receiving sewer service or sewer service improvements, establish new administrative fees based on number of water meters installed for properties located outside the city limits and connecting to city sewer, and establish new sewer rates for customers inside Franklin County but outside the city limits at an additional 10% on top of the base rate, and customers outside of Franklin County at an additional 15% on top of the base rate.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor and a second. Is there any discussion on this ordinance? Commissioner Smith Willis.
First, want to thank County Judge Executive Michael Mueller to come in, and Squire Blackburn for voicing kind of how they felt on moving forward with this matter. I personally would have liked to table this just to kind of give us time to continuously talk to our people across the way to make sure this is the right decision. I did talk to a couple, but I do think this is the right decision moving forward. So I just wanted to kind of put that on the record that just in terms of communication, we could keep effectively communicating moving forward. This is not probably going to be the only matter that we have to collaborate on and have discussions about. But I do feel like in terms of our community, this is the best decision. So I just wanted to put that on the record.
Commissioner May.
Thank you. Thank you for staff for preparing this. And again, yes, thank you to our friends from the county government that came and spoke. For me today coming in and making this decision, I very much felt like, from what I understood from our staff, that the conversations were happening along the way and that there was communication. And so I'm making that decision today based, partly on that. Certainly agree with the language and the changes that we need moving forward. It's something that really should have been addressed, decades ago. And this is the necessary work, and sometimes not always the easiest work, but the positions that we're in to help shore up the financial stability of the city, and it's what's right for our constituents. And I do, just want to address that, to follow up on what you said, Commissioner Smith Willis, about making sure to keep the door open moving forward. So, I look forward to continuing to work with them on issues that affect all of us, but this is an issue that I think is central and located to the city, as we are the ones that manage, fund, operate, and are ultimately responsible for our solid waste and management system and sewer system. So I appreciate all the conversation from staff and board members in the community.
Commissioner Unger.
I'd just like to start by saying, I feel like we've been I've been a part of this conversation for a while. We started with the sewer rate study several years ago, and we have, gotten to this point where we've crafted what I think is a very good ordinance. It's a very good update that, we really could have done several years ago. And I'm glad to be here at this point. And I do hear from our friends across the river how important communication is. And I agree as well. And I do hope and I do believe that we as a city have communicated what we're working on. So I do feel good about that. I also think this is very fiscally responsible for us, for our sewer department. It'll help us continue to improve services and also, work on development that will happen inside our city limits as well as outside. And I'm doing some rough math, but I think we've already talked about over $600,000 worth of agenda items just at the sewer department, and then maybe one more item coming up here soon that I hear might be around $200,000. So, that's a big cost to us, a big burden to us, and we got to be able to keep up with all the maintenance, and that's a big part of why we're here today. So,
Commissioner Richardson.
I'd like to echo everything everybody just said. I want to thank Squire JW coming in and County Judge. Today, this right here, having worked for the city of Frankfort for almost 24 years and having a lot of people in this room have lived in this community, this is a historic piece of legislation. We have a chance to really do something that other communities have done 20, 30 years ago. I drove about 750, 800 miles last week for work, and every stop I made, I talked to somebody that was a public official. This isn't, the sewer department is not, if I'm correct, Mr. City Manager, it is not in the business to make money. It's basically the fees we charge pays for our sewer system. Am I correct on that statement, pretty much?
Correct.
Okay. So, the other day, our sewer director mentioned we have a lot of projects going on in the county, and that is the partnership that I think we've done. I think we're on the verge of growth, but this legislation helps with being fiscally responsible, like Commissioner Unger was saying, as well as the efficiency of attracting new business. And the other part of it is, a lot of people don't realize, maybe our community doesn't realize, but our sewer budget is separate from our general fund. And one of the first things I did when I was elected was to wrap my head around things in city government that I wasn't real sure about. Obviously, over the past few meetings, we've talked about a lot about garbage, and I've wrapped my head around that. Sewer was the other thing, especially knowing how that budget is separate and how it does affect our general fund, especially when it comes to all of the easement work, the stuff that Laura does. Am I correct on that, Mr. City Manager?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it does affect our general fund a lot. So, I do want to mention, Squire Blackburn did mention, we've got a couple projects. I think 460 and the one that's going down to Millville. Am I correct? Mm-hmm. But those were grants that came through the state. Am I correct on that?
Correct.
So the one good thing about that is that's tax funds that are paying for that, right? So it wasn't like, and that's going to help. One thing I want to make clear about our sewer, I've talked to people all over in our county, as well as others, a lot of people that are on maybe a septic system or their sewer's not that great, they would love to have the capability that we have for our sewer. And that's all we're doing. In no way, shape, or form does this hurt anyone in the county or the city. All this is doing is helping development be more efficient. And actually, I'm going to go with Commissioner Unger, is the fiscal responsibility that we have for our sewer department when it comes to the services we provide. Because, and I'll say this is maybe a bold statement, but technically the city of Frankfort, we own the infrastructure for the whole city and county. I mean, we own it. We own the sewer department as well as, you know, I've been told by somebody in a pretty good spot that, you know, water and electric is ours too. So I just kind of want to say that I'm glad to be part of this historic moment for both the city and the county on this sewer ordinance.
Commissioner Smith Willis.
I also want to just follow up and just thank staff for the work that you all did to contribute to this. Although I did say I wanted to table it, I do appreciate the work that went into this. I think I selfishly just wanted to have a little bit more conversations, but I do appreciate working with you all and actually working with this commission to educate myself, being the freshman, on this topic. So I'm looking forward to the growth and the expansion of Frankfort and Franklin County. So thank you.
And I'll just say one quick thing. It's about fiscal responsibility. And well, first, thank you, Squire Blackburn, for coming and for the judge to come and speak. I know that's, you know, not easy to do, especially when you have your own responsibilities with the county. But the fiscal responsibility is one part, but it's also a fairness. You know, since 2001, the city's had the ability to extend sewer without requiring annexation into the city and without any questions asked, really, as long as it's in our service area. Even though most other cities in our peer cities would not do that. We're just modernizing our policies and bringing them up to date. And it's also about sustainability, too. I think this ordinance and this policy, it incentivizes growth closer to the city's core, and I think that's a responsible thing to do in this day and age and discourage sprawl. So for that, I'm also in support, and I'll ask the clerk, without any other discussion, to call the vote.
Commissioner Richardson?
Yes.
Commissioner Unger?
Yes.
Commissioner May?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith Willis?
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson?
Yes, and that ordinance is adopted. Action item number 2. Oh, it's the first reading, seeking a sponsor. All right, this is Commissioner Unger.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 2025 series appropriating the revenue to be received by the city of Frankfort for fiscal year 25-26. This ordinance amends ordinance number 2025 series appropriating the revenue to be received by the city for the fiscal year 25-26 by adding the following expenditures and transfers out as noted. General Fund, $904,853. Transfers from General Fund, $354,762 to Grant Fund, $745. Capital Improvements, $29,809. Sewer Fund, $956,626. And by adding the following revenue and transfers in, as noted above, General Fund, $10,000, all of which are aggregate total.
Any discussion on this first reading? Budget appropriation? Seeing none, we can move on to action item number 3.
Action item number 3, a resolution of the City of Frankfort, Kentucky authorizing that certain development agreement, qualified management agreement, and any associated financing documents associated therewith, including authorization and execution of any ground lease, lease, or trust indenture, performance of all obligations thereunder, and execution and delivery of all documents in connection therewith for the design, construction, management, maintenance, finance, and operation of the Frankfort Meeting and Event Center. We'll ask Chuck and Amber to come up here as well to kind of introduce this. And we also have Red Draw here and Dinsmore for any questions from the board.
Hi, Chuck.
Thank you for the opportunity to share some information and discuss this exciting project. Just to kind of bring folks up to speed as to kind of where we've been, just a few dates and action items that have taken place. December 11th, 2024, the city issued a request for proposals for this project. April 15th was the deadline for submitting proposals. We received 4 proposals. June 9th, 2025, the Board of Commissioners appointed an evaluation and scoring committee that was charged with conducting the selection of a single negotiating partner and negotiating the necessary P3 documents. July 24th, 2025, Red Draw Event Center LLC was selected as the single negotiating partner by the committee. And then this past Friday, February 20th, the committee reviewed and approved the P3 agreements and recommended they be provided for commission action tonight.
So with the convention center, I know we're looking all at how much it's gonna cost. You know, the proposal was for, I believe, $40 million project, funded over 30 years. We're going to lease it through Red Draw's lease financing, and we're looking at a payment anywhere from 1.2 to 1.9 million. Now, that payment will be dependent on how much we receive annually in transient room taxes from both the county and the city. Both have obligated 1% of transient room tax until 2032. I believe the county, once they have a prior obligation paid for, will input 2% into at that time.
Do you all have any questions for the finance director or Chuck? And before, I would like to have Red Draw too. I have one question on the annual payments. Now, that's assuming we get no other financial support, grants, earmarks, anything else,
I
right?
believe this includes an additional 11 million
Okay.
allocation.
But above and beyond that, so we are asking, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yes, Commissioner Unger?
Can you just state those numbers again, like what we have right now from the state and then?
We have 11.2 million from the state at this time.
Okay, thank you.
And it is actually accruing interest as well.
Thank you.
Commissioner Smith Willis?
I was right and I lost my thought. Never mind, it's okay.
So,
I may add that we are still seeking additional revenue from the state.
Yes.
The mayor and I have met several individuals up there trying to gain support on this, and it seems like we're doing pretty well.
Commissioner Smith Willis?
Okay, so for people watching, when you say that we're talking to the legislative body at the state level, whatever more they contribute to this, what does that look like? Like, would that go toward the annual payment or?
It would
The
go
total.
toward yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, it would reduce the amount of the project cost for us
For the
that we
city.
would have
It would
to
reduce the
finance
cost to the
over
city.
the
Absolutely.
30 years. So
Yes.
that, in turn, would reduce our payment.
It would.
Yes, Commissioner Unger?
Quick question. So if we, it would be great if the state wanted to help support us more on this. But if they choose not to, what does that look like if we need to slow down the process or stop the process?
So I believe the P3 board is a lengthy process as it is, and the city would have to determine how we would fund the remainder of that payment if we wanted to increase tax or use our general fund.
Okay.
I will say, we have Dinsmore here too, if they want to expand on any of that answering.
Okay.
I would like to hear from them.
Yeah.
And Commissioner Richards, do you have any questions or
He
anything?
said he wants to hear
Okay.
from Dinsmore.
Yeah, please.
Just a quick overview of the documents, and then we can come back to the memo.
No review of the documents?
Yeah, just kind of
Okay.
a quick, all the documents you had, and just to kind of, I guess by title, kind of, this is what they're approving, this is kind of how the resolution will work.
Yep, yeah, great. So the resolution generally approves the documents necessary to finance and construct the project. It's a format that's generally been used on several P3 arrangements within the state already. So it uses a lease structure. So we have called for the city to create a public projects corporation, which is, it's utilized all over this. Every public school in the state uses a public properties corporation, for example, to own and finance school buildings. That provides several different advantages. It would own the conference center, this public properties corporation. It would be wholly controlled by the commission. It would then lease the conference center to the city. The city would then make lease payments to the corporation, which would then essentially pay for the cost of the building through the financing. So the finance corporation would essentially sell the equivalent of bonds to the public to finance the cost, and the lease payments from the city to the finance corp would essentially pay for the equivalent of the bonds. So it puts the building in a separate entity and provides for the financing structure. That gives us several benefits, but that's how the documents are set up. So there's a trust indenture, which is the document that sort of connects a trustee that handles all the funds on behalf of the city with the investors who provide the funding to build the facility. And there's the lease agreement, which is between the city and the finance corporation, and a couple of other miscellaneous documents to provide for assignments of the rights and things like that. And then Brooks has been working on more, I'm the bond lawyer, so I handle the financing. Brooks is handling more of the deal side with the development agreement and the management agreements.
Right, so Mark went through the documents to discuss more of the finance and how the money flows to pay for the project. When the resolution was read, I think you heard a development contract. So that's one of the P3 agreements. That would provide for how this event center actually gets constructed. So it'd be the kind of hard construction of the event center. And then separately from that, there's a management agreement, and that would be a 30-year term over the life of the payment for the bonds that would provide for Red Draw to manage and maintain, operate the actual facility to make sure it's in good working condition throughout the life of it, as well as actually help coordinate and plan the events and meetings at the meeting center.
Commissioner Smith-Willis?
Can you say the last part one more time? So it's a 30-year agreement, you said?
That's correct.
Okay. Of overall operation and maintenance?
Yes, so it'd be a management and maintenance portion, as well as for the booking and catering, right, for any sort of event center that actually help operate and bring in revenue to the event center. Part of that payment that Amber mentioned also is a capital reserve fund. So that would help for, offset long-term typical roof, the roof needs to be replaced. So you're sort of paying for that on the front end to ensure that there's already money there to help do that. And Red Draw would help, anytime that needed to be done, they'd let you know. There's approval processes within the management agreement for operating budget expenditures of funds, so to make sure that the city, has control, over that at the end of the day.
Got it. Thank you.
Anything else for the Dinsmore?
The most exciting part of the presentation,
Yeah.
the lawyers, right?
How about we talk about what it's going to look like and what
That's
this
right.
is?
That's the better part.
Not that, I don't think, was it answered at the end of 30 years, it reverts to the city?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah, the financing's 30 years, and so all the agreements are 30 years to match that term. That both makes it simple for the city and Red Draw, but it also gives assurance to the bondholders that there's a structure in place to pay off the debt and operate the facility while the bonds are outstanding. If that makes sense. Thank you.
Now, if we ask the folks from Red Draw to come up and answer questions and kind of show off what they're presenting to us here.
You like our photos? So I'm Garen Denning. This is Megan Walson. We're with Red Draw. First of all, thank you. We're extremely excited that tonight has arrived. One thing I do want to touch on in terms of that capital reserve, which I think is always important, we've built into these numbers $750,000 that gets pre-funded. That goes into a separate account with the trustee as it relates to any major items. And that is the city's money, it's not our money. So in order to access that for any kind of major improvements that we need, that's a collaborative process. That really helps on the bond side. It really helps with the municipality as well. I'm going to take you really quickly through just the building, and then Megan can talk a little bit about Washington Street and future plans as well. But 44,000 square feet, the first thing you'll see that jumps out is glass, right? So you can kind of see this is the parking garage here that's already constructed, and this is the 500 building. And so you'll see here the convention center kind of builds on itself. So small, medium, large. and then this area is the ballroom. So you're gonna have the ability, it's a 9,500 square foot ballroom in the city of Frankfort, which we think will be very impactful. The other really great part in terms of the glass, it allows people to see in for all of the activities, and it allows people to see out in terms of this courtyard as well. This is Washington Street, which Megan, can you kind of walk them through what we're thinking there?
So we've had a lot, and I'm sorry, I'm recovering from being sick. So we've had, I know, we rode together too. We've had a lot of questions over the past several months about Washington Street extension, timing, what's going on there. Just to be fully transparent, the extension of Washington Street is really over the two parcels, so from Broadway to Clinton and then Clinton to Marrow. And while those are two different extensions, it's really all one. Just for construction efficiencies and timing efficiency, we want to do that extension at one time. And the plans for Washington Street are really dependent upon getting approval for this meeting and event center, because how that street ebbs and flows and what that looks like in front of the meeting and event center is dependent upon getting final approval. So we're hoping that when and if this is approved soon, that we'll get plans underway for that extension as well. And in parallel, same sort of reasoning, the plans on the property of where the YMCA was that we demoed recently, that decision also goes hand in hand with the finalization of the meeting and event center. So we have explored several options for that, including retail, multifamily, hospitality, multiple things. And we really want to make sure that this overall development is successful. So we're not piecemealing one to the other. We're really looking at it as one development in entirety. So as soon as this gets approved, we're hoping that all of that can quickly come after. Do you all have any questions?
Commissioner Smith Willis.
Thank you all for stopping in and chatting with us today. I had one question in terms of, and this might be, I could maybe request the information, but capacity-wise, you gave us square footage. Do we know the capacity of what the ballroom will hold? And like any other meeting space, any other space in the meeting center?
Yeah, so first of all, I would say they're flexible. So we'll get you the exact number on the ballroom, but these will be flexible, small meeting spaces, medium, so you're gonna have a lot of kind of high-end movable walls, kind of like a little bit what they did at the Convention Center in Lexington as well, but we'll get you those exact numbers. I can tell you that we planned a lot of our space planning with the Oakview Group. Oakview, they currently run Louisville Convention Center as well as Lexington Convention Center. They were part of our proposal, so they were able to get very granular in terms of kitchen size. There is a full commercial kitchen in here to be able to host events and do the ballroom. In the numbers that we're talking about, it is a turnkey number in terms of not only fixtures and finishes, but all the kitchen equipment. So this will truly be a convention center that is ready to operate when we hand it over.
Commissioner Unger.
I just want to thank everybody who's been a part of this to get us here today. It's awesome to see. It's awesome to be here and be a part of it. I feel like, people have been asking what's going to happen down there for a while now. So it's great to have these images and be moving towards this together. I also see another large green space in this image. If you have anything you can share for that as well, I'd appreciate that. But I'm just I'm happy to be here today working with everybody. So
Thank you. We want to share something really quick.
okay.
But this is truly this is the domino, right, that needs to occur to generate that, to get Frankfort back on the circuit of trade shows and regionality and all of those types of things to generate it. And so one more thing in terms of the legalese and our lease payment structure, we present a fixed lease payment for the 30 years. So imagine whatever you're paying now, you would be paying 30 years from now, while transient taxes in theory are going to increase. So your actual obligation should get better over time, which is even more encouraging for the city of Frankfort.
Commissioner Richardson.
Yeah, I want to say thank you as well, and this reminds me, maybe at just a little bit smaller scale than Owensboro, their meeting center and convention center with the glass and all that. And I just want to let the public know that this is kind of a, with the parking garage already there, the meeting center, we have the vision, as well as something that happened, I guess, a meeting or two ago that where the renovation of Capitol Plaza. So all this is fitting together with our other two boutique hotels downtown. You know, I just am very excited, like Commissioner Unger, to see this to come to fruition, and I'm hoping we can start breaking ground very soon because obviously that's what the public, they're wanting to see some movement down there, and it's been a long time coming. Now we've got the visualization of it, but I'm hoping to see a shovel in the ground.
Commissioner Smith Willis.
I also just, before Commissioner Richardson got called on, I was, when Garrett had brought up the domino effect, full transparency, when the parking garage went up, I was like, what are we doing? Like, what's going on? I didn't understand personally at that time as a citizen what the dynamic was behind it. But now being on this side and actually doing a lot of homework and research, understanding the domino effect of, building on this space. So to Commissioner Unger's point about the green space, I feel like the possibilities are endless once we put the shovel in the ground, such as Commissioner Richardson had said. So I just wanted to say, maybe from a newer commissioner to the people that contributed to the parking garage and the structure, thank you for gearing us in the right direction of growth here in Frankfort.
Commissioner May.
Thank you all so much. I love the renderings and I love the opportunities that sit before us here today. And thank you all for sticking with us over the years and continuing to help push things where they need to go. So I'm diverting a little bit away from some of the serious aspects of it and more towards the fun parts of it. And are there opportunities to, add little aesthetic nuances to bring it back, unique to Frankfort, to speak our voice, our character, opportunities for certain companies that have historic precedents here in Frankfort to be involved in the project still? Or have we moved past that, or do we have plans to continue to discuss that?
Are you talking about design elements or?
More, public art engagement pieces out and around the area, or
Yeah,
even
for
inside
sure.
the facility, if.
For sure.
If there was not a place necessarily constantly serving bourbon, but something that, would pay homage to the historical notes that Frankfort's known for with that, and incorporate that for, the visitors that are coming in here and interacting with the space.
For sure.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
in our proposal, we kind of walk back through the origins of Frankfort and we try to tie that. But there is a process once this is a go where we've put a lot of work into the design already. But before schematic design is fully finalized, there's input from you all and from the city. And so that is an opportunity to make sure we capture it, as well as, one of the best parts we didn't talk about is this patio area or this courtyard area along Washington Street here. That's going to be a great opportunity for all types of activation when the weather's nice or
Right.
art, et cetera. We envision this road potentially being able to be closed off for farmers markets or what have you. This can really be a corridor in and of itself, which the city's also getting the right of way of that when that is constructed. So there's a lot of opportunities to kind of do the fun stuff
Right.
for sure. And we've worked, Chuck actually asked a couple of those questions. So we've worked with their team some already, but happy to continue to take input.
Sure. Well, thank you very much.
And I have a statement and a couple of questions, and one on the statement. Well, first, thank you all for, we've been working on this, I feel like, for at least 2 or 3 years now. But I've tried to tell the public that something's happening, and the parking garage, now that was one domino, has been mentioned before. But really, if you zoom out, this is all one big plan, that some of the things just aren't, they don't get the attention, like doing a TIF agreement for the area, then building the parking structure, and the riverfront development on the other side, doing the IRB and the pilot for the hotel. It all fits together. But now we're at a point where we can show you something exciting for the city of Frankfort. And I think my question would be, well, one, assuming everything goes well with the P3 board and maybe we get more financing, when are we groundbreaking on this?
Well, it's totally, and Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's really dependent on the P3 board. So, it would be our intention that once the P3 board had approved this and you all had clarity on the budget from the state, that we would go and we would issue or sell our COPS at the end of May, and we would be off to the races. So technically, if you think about June timeframe, if we were fully cleared, it's 24 months, and we're combining design with construction, kind of an accelerated timeframe. We're doing another large $100 million project right now, and it works really well with our team, and it's pretty much the exact same team that has had success across the street there and performed very, very quickly. But everyone should put in the, in terms of how fast we can get it done, the expectation will be 24 months once we're green-lighted and to move forward.
So events in summer of 2028 possibly.
I think that's, well, and as you mentioned, the P3 board is that's the variable, right?
Possibly, yeah.
Possibly, right.
So
we would love to do that, yes.
And this is going to be enormous for our tourism numbers, for our downtown, for our small businesses. Also, if we could do this and get more housing in the area, the 1-2 combination there would be amazing. What can you do now? Is there anything prohibiting the development of the YMCA site now that we know that the siding of the conference center is going to go on behind the parking structure, the YMCA sites?
So
pretty clear now.
Yeah. So it's funny. We've had a housing study and a hotel. We do housing and hotel feasibility studies every year on these parcels, and we met actually last Friday with our architect for multifamily concepts on the Y. However, there's a lot of things that have to fall into place, but this is by far the most important piece of the puzzle. But it does seem like a natural. It's based upon need, which I'm sure you all as our housing our housing studies say that you need a need. But we're going to get this one moving and then kind of look and see what else we can do on those other parcels.
It's not something that could be done concurrently.
Well,
time.
there's definite potential that we will develop the YMCA parcel when this one is under construction. Yeah, it's not a just do this one and then move on to the next one by any means.
Senator, and to the public, 3 years from now, a lot of Frankfort's going to look a lot different, and we're excited about that. Just have to have patience. But no, this is a good development. Anything we need to know?
I think the one thing, just, they kept mentioning the P3 board, and Mark, it's 180 days, am I correct on that?
I mean, our best guess is the overall process they could stretch it to 6 months.
Yeah.
Under the statute, but we don't think it can take that long.
Yeah.
That's one reason we wanted to stay on schedule and getting this meeting tonight, was so we can get it submitted and start
Yeah.
the clock ticking to get through that as quickly as possible.
Commissioner May?
Question as far as timelines moving forward. So if we make an agreement tonight, what would be the next time you're coming to the Board of Commission to ask for? What should we have on our radar to help facilitate, if anything? Maybe we just sit back and wait now for you all to come back, but what do you foresee in the future for us having to make decisions on?
The resolution authorizes the execution of the deal documents and with consent of council and the mayor's input. So the documents are in pretty good shape. Like I said, they've been used multiple times before. But it's from here on out, we're subject to approval of the P3 board, but then it's, does the General Assembly do anything in the finalization of the new budget? And then it's just financing questions. What's the market like when we need to go to market? You know, we have to go through a rating process. I don't know that we formally need to come back to you for anything, but we certainly be working hand in hand with the city of the whole day.
Sure.
So you'll be informed. We can come back for informational reporting and get your thoughts on things, but I don't know that we need a formal approval for anything else.
Mark, do you see them having to formally execute the agreements once the P3 board approves them?
Yeah, we'll have to get signatures and things like that. And it'll be just like a bond, you know, just like a bond closing. Here's your signature package, that kind of thing, yeah, which they're very familiar with at this point, so.
But these documents today will allow us to start more of that process and that schematic design that we'll work with the city of Frankfort on. And then I just think it's important to reiterate, although I'm sure all of you know, but part of the benefit to the city of this program is that you approve this and this vision, and then it's our responsibility to deliver that. So, cost, budget, and all, timing, all of those things. And so there's a real benefit when you think about just from the city of Frankfort or any city from resource allocation and all of those things. And so it's not labor intensive for the city. We have to perform and we have to give you what you see there. I can't promise the grass is going to be green on this side of the road, but otherwise it should be really, really close.
Right. Thank you.
Is everyone good? All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second on this resolution for the development agreement. No further discussion or questions. I'll ask the clerk to call for the vote.
Commissioner Richardson?
Yes.
Commissioner Unger?
Yes.
Commissioner May?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith-Willis?
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson?
Yes, and that resolution is adopted. Action item number 4.
Action item number 4, we have a Parks Committee order. Staff recommends approval of the order to form the Parks Committee, select members of the BOC to sit on that committee, and to authorize the mayor to sign any related documents. As we discussed at the work session, this would be a similar committee to the Public Works, the Affordable Housing. It's a similar committee with that, and all we're asking for tonight is approval to continue with that and to nominate 2 commissioners to sit on that committee.
Motion to approve? Or need a motion?
So
We need the motion for the order.
Yes. Motion to approve.
this is a
Second.
motion
And then we
to
can do
approve the order creating the Parks Committee. And we have a second.
Vote.
Any discussion on this order creating the committee? If none,
Six.
Commissioner Unger?
I think it's a great idea. I think our committees have worked out very well for us so far. So I think this will help us as well moving forward, working hand in hand with the other Parks Board. So I would also like to put my name in the hat if, to potentially be on the committee.
Commissioner May? Sorry, I'll get,
Echo everything that Commissioner Unger said. I think the committees work great, and if we're throwing names in the hat, consider mine tossed in.
okay. Commissioner Richardson?
We've already done that part.
He's seconding the being in.
Any discussion?
just seconding them nominating themselves.
Yes.
Commissioner Smith-Willis?
Second.
I also just wanted to say, I appreciate the committees themselves. I think this is going to be a great collaboration. I am happy that Commissioner Unger and May want to do it because I was hoping somebody else was. So thank you all for your service.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll add to that. Glad we're creating this. I think it'll help out a lot. And I second both Commissioner Unger and Commissioner May being on that board.
All right, so we'll take,
Can we do a motion for the order?
we're going,
Sorry,
For the
I threw
order.
my second in there.
we have a motion and so this is for the order creating the Parks Committee. We'll take a vote on that.
Commissioner Richardson?
Yes.
Commissioner Unger?
Yes.
Commissioner May?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith-Willis?
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson?
Yes, so that order is adopted. And next, I'll entertain a motion appointing Commissioner May and Commissioner Unger to this new Parks Committee.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion on this?
Thank
I
you for your
guess-
service.
We don't have terms on these, do we? It's just,
It's, the terms are only
Yeah.
your elected cycle.
okay? Okay, thank you all for agreeing to serve. We appreciate it. And we'll think of other committees so we can find other opportunities for the rest of us.
Committee for
All
committees.
right, I'll ask the clerk to call for a vote.
Commissioner Richardson,
Yes.
Commissioner Unger,
Yes.
Commissioner May,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith Willis,
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson.
Yes, and that order is adopted. So we'll move to action item number 5.
Number 5 is emergency repairs for multiple repairs at the wastewater treatment plant. We have staff request Board of Commissioner approval of up to $200,000 purchase order with Harriet Company for emergency repairs to the wastewater treatment plant, equipment damage during the April 2025 flood, and authorize the mayor to sign all related documents. I do have Kenny Hoxton up here if you have any questions on this. Kind of explain where it's coming from.
Do we have any questions on this? Commissioner Smith Willis?
Hi, Kenny.
Hello.
I just had a quick question. It says with FEMA to recover as much as the cost as possible. Have we heard reimbursement from? Have we heard from FEMA?
We're going to apply for that. We're working with FEMA right now, but as always with FEMA, there's never any guarantee. So we have to do the project, we submit it to them. If they approve refunding, then we will be eligible up to 75%.
Sorry, follow-up question. If they don't, what does that look like?
We still have to make the repairs. So
The
that's
cost
why,
impact?
that's why Amber's so worried about everything.
Okay. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you.
Anyone else? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion to approve this request, purchase order. Yeah, Commissioner Smith Willis.
Maybe my question might be for Amber. What's the turnaround time for applying for the assistance? What does that look like? Do we know?
That's more of a redundant
Yeah.
question for FEMA. I have not.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. I'm just thinking about dollar signs. Rebecca, do you know the turnaround time on like the FEMA application and when we could possibly hear back from it?
It varies, and they are running very long this year. I mean, for this particular event, we still have not been reimbursed for everything for the February 1st.
Got it. Thank you.
Commissioner Unger.
And it is for 110,000, or was it more?
It's for 200, up
It's
to
for-
200.
yeah, okay.
When we sent this out Friday, it was for 110. And as we were sending this out, Kenny came into my office and said, "Oh, wait, we've had some other failures. Can we up this?" So that's we kind of went through that this morning and upping it to 200,000.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other? If not, I'll ask the clerk to call for a vote.
Commissioner Richardson,
Yes.
Commissioner Unger,
Yes.
Commissioner May,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith Willis,
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson.
Yes, and that order is approved. Action item number 6.
Number 6, the City of Frankfort Geological Monitoring Service adjacent to Taylor Avenue, professional services consultant with HDR Engineering Incorporated. We have a total cost for this agreement of $253,647. This is for Taylor Avenue. It is a state-maintained road, and the roadway has been closed for almost 2 years. KYTC has indicated they have no interest in sharing the cost of this. However, they have indicated that after 1 year of geological monitoring, they will consider reopening Taylor Avenue. This will require a budget amendment, and the city is requesting approval by the Board of Commissioners and for the mayor to sign all related documents. This is the first step in moving us forward. Chuck can answer any more questions on this, but moving us forward on getting the reopening of Taylor Avenue.
I have a question.
Commissioner Richardson.
When does the year start, or has it already started?
Unfortunately, it has not started yet. I think HDR Engineering, having their agreement approved tonight, I think we're looking at maybe a 4 or 5 month period of time for them to get on the site, gather all the information, determine how best where to monitor and what technology they're going to use, and they're going to provide even some future mitigation opportunities and what they might cost. I'd say about midsummer, they'll be done. So I'd say the clock probably starts midsummer. So midsummer 2027, we can ask the cabinet if, they're willing to consider opening that back up.
Commissioner May.
Do we feel confident that whatever the results come back, I don't want to get to a point where the state says, hey, I appreciate that you gave us that report, but we still need A, B, and C. Do we know that this agreement will cover all of their wants and needs to make a decision to open the road back up?
I think one of the things that we've asked HDR Engineering to look at is do geologic engineering, a calculation or analysis to see if in fact, if it was to fail, a major fail, would it impact Taylor Avenue? Because, there's a distance in there between. So that, it may depend on that, but if they can determine that a major fall wouldn't, impact Taylor Avenue significantly, then they may consider opening it up. But to answer your question, Commissioner, it just, I'm sorry, Commissioner, thank you.
Sure.
I'm not sure, I can't guarantee anything that, they're going to decide after a year of monitoring what they're going to do.
Right. I think my question is more, are we confident enough in the scope of work that they're doing that the state won't say, well, I still need to see this, another piece that this company didn't collect, information and
Right.
data that they didn't collect? Are we just good that whatever the results are, it will contain the information that they need to make that decision, regardless of whatever the decision is?
Right. What we did do, when we drafted the RFP and included a scope of work, I shared that with the Kentucky Transportation Geotech folks.
Okay.
To see if they agreed with what we were doing and the scope of that, and they didn't have any major concerns. So they felt like it was kind of a full review of what was over there. And so I'm assuming that, once we get this monitoring in place and we wait a year, then they'll hopefully consider opening that back up.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Commissioner Smith-Willis. Commissioner Unger.
Oh, it's fine. Oh, you sure?
I forgot you.
I think a concern I have is whether or not the state, after a year of monitoring, says yes or no, we'll open it up. We can cancel, be out on this contract 30 days, like a normal
Yes.
contract. Okay, so if we hear, oh, it's not gonna be open, maybe we need to monitor it longer. I don't know. I guess we'll figure that out after the first year, but, okay, just want to know that there can be a clear out
Right,
if we
right.
need to.
There's a typical termination clause in that contract, 30 days notice or something
Okay.
like that. Yep. Save ourselves a little bit of money.
Yeah,
Yeah, the first year is about half that total amount, and the other 2 years is about half of that amount each year, so.
okay, thank you.
Commissioner Richardson.
The other question I have, and I agree with what's been said, I'm assuming that we can't contractually hold the state to anything.
Based on my experience, no.
Okay.
Because it's state right of way, and they've already indicated, even though all this challenge is on private property, they have no interest in being involved. So
Okay.
unfortunately, they don't seem to have a need to, or an urgency to open Taylor Avenue back up, so.
And then my next question is, are we going from the railroad tracks back to Second Street? Or we're not including the bridge? Or when we talk about Taylor Avenue, it goes all the way to between the connector and 60. So I guess that's my question. Is it just that section of Taylor Avenue?
One of the things that we've done, talked with the city manager, one of the things we've done is approach the transportation cabinet into maybe considering that they would turn the maintenance of Taylor Avenue over between Second Street and basically the tracks, give that to the city so that we could maintain it, and then if we own it, then we can open it up.
Okay.
But HDR's work and monitoring with the hope that the cabinet can open it up a year after we're done monitoring, excuse me, is cheaper in the long run than us taking over a piece of Taylor Avenue and having to resurface it and fix guardrail forever. So that's the higher of the two options, but it's something that we can consider.
Okay.
That was a question I had. Would we be better off just taking this money and lobbying to try to get the ownership of Taylor Avenue and the expected cost we'll have with that?
Well, again, based on experience, when the cabinet turns something over to a local entity, they usually have the agreement where they'll make it pretty good shape. They'll resurface, they'll fix guardrail. When they hand it to you, you get something that's in pretty good shape. Well, up front, of course, they would do all of that at their cost. But up front, then, okay, that looks good, but then forever, if you're maintaining it, it's going to cost you. Just like
We would be in charge of the riverbank as
The
well,
riverbank, yeah.
Probably so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, as I say, this monitoring agreement is the cheaper of the two ways to go. But the cabinet has indicated they would consider turning a piece of Taylor Avenue over to us. So I guess they're going to wait until we really ask for it.
But we don't have to decide that tonight, correct?
No, sir. As a matter of fact, I'd probably wait about a year and a half.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah.
This is our best option to eventually get Taylor Avenue back open.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
And unfortunately, the cost is on us, but
But
we
after
don't
a-
own the property, and we don't own the roadway. Somehow or another, we're paying for this, but.
But after a year and a half, we may know it's not possible, and then that's it. And
Yeah.
then It
Yes, sir.
settles it, and
Yes,
we're
sir.
out 130-something thousand.
39.
39,000.
Yep.
And hopefully there's grant money out there or something. Okay, entertain a motion to approve the.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Any other discussion or questions? None, I'll ask the clerk to call for the vote to approve this purchase order. That's what we're calling it.
Commissioner Richardson?
Yes.
Commissioner Unger?
Yes.
Commissioner May?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith-Willis?
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson?
Yes, and that is adopted. And action item number 7.
Number 7 is the 2026 Build Grant Application. Staff request authorization to apply for the 2026 Build Grant Program funds for the U.S. Department of Transportation in the amount of $25 million and authorize the mayor to sign all grant documents. Frankfort seeks build funds to replace rescinded Phase 1 NAE construction funding for the High Home Street project.
Motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion, second, Commissioner Smith-Willis. Any discussion? How close will this get to replace the funding that was pulled from the NAE grant?
Should have stayed up here, Chuck.
Stay, Chuck, so was you.
I was
You
wondering.
stood there for a second.
Chair's got my name on the back. This particular grant application, and Rebecca's really been involved in this too, will replace everything we lost. We have already submitted applications for Transportation Alternative Program, TAP program with the cabinet earlier, but that didn't cover all of it. That covered just a piece of it. So we're hoping that this bill grant, that we'll get awarded that, and we can just go on with one funding source for all the construction of that Phase 1.
Somebody asked today. Commissioner Unger?
Is there a time frame on approval?
I thought that they were going to try to determine that and make grant awards, I thought sometime this summer. Was it June? June or July, yes. And that's about the time we probably will hear something about the TAP grants. So we can maybe pick and choose what we need to do here. It'd be nice to be able to get awarded both of them so we can pick. But I think the build is the one we really want to get awarded to us because it covers all of the costs that we lost.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to call for the vote.
Commissioner Richardson?
Yes.
Commissioner Unger?
Yes.
Commissioner May?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith Willis?
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson?
Yes, and that is approved. Action item number 8.
Number 8, Farmers Market Sublease. The purpose of this item is to request approval from the Board of Commissioners for the Farmers Market Sublease and authorize the mayor to sign all related documents.
Motion.
Can,
Commissioner Unger.
just a quick question. I feel like this has been a long time coming. I want to thank Eddie Fowler for being here, sitting through this meeting, to get to this agenda item. I know you've done a lot of work for the farmer's market. So, it looks great down there. After reading over this sublease, it does say it's a year-to-year lease with automatic renewals, but we don't see any issue with that, right? Okay. Okay. And then I was wondering if we had like a direct contact that the farmer's market was gonna work with, if they were, because, there's, in the lease, it mentions if there's any sort of other events or special sublease, I guess, things that they'd like to do, or who should that, or have we set up a contact person at the city?
We haven't really
'Cause-
set up a contact with the city, but that's going to be probably through our special events department or through Public Works.
Okay.
To have a structure that. They've been the ones dealing with it. If it's an event, we'll probably go through Rebecca's department.
Okay, okay. Just want to make sure communication is good and that we are always working with our partners well. I think that's it. I'm excited. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any other discussion, questions? None? Please call for the vote.
Commissioner Richardson?
Yes.
Commissioner Unger?
Yes.
Commissioner May?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith Willis?
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson?
Yes, and that sublease is approved. And that's all for our action items. Moving on to unfinished business, which we didn't have anything from the last meeting. Is there any new business to come for the good of the board? See none, how about board comments? We'll open it up. Commissioner Unger.
I do have a comment, and this comes from Brenda Hackett and Abby, as well as Nancy Moore, Nathan, and Brett. They would like to thank the fire department and especially Battalion Chief Mike Felty for volunteering and organizing the honor guard and the static fire truck displays at both of John Hackett's and Mike Moore's funeral ceremonies that were fairly recently. So thank you to the fire chief and everybody involved. I know that meant a lot to the families. Just a little note, John Hackett grew up on Miro Street and worked at Station 2 on Home Street for most of his career, and Mike Moore was a part of the first paramedics class. So thank you to those guys for their service. We hope, and thanks to the families for, their service to the community and their sacrifice. So just wanted to share that. That was really meaningful to the families, and I know we do that a lot, and so our guys volunteer, and I just appreciate that service that we do. And on another topic, I just wanted to mention the passing of Mike Hedden, the owner of Buddy's Pizza. Katie shared that there will be a Slice of Life celebration on Thursday at Buddy's Pizza from, I think they're doing lunch, but also from 6:30 to 8:30. They're having people gathering, and I think they're doing slices. So I just want to send love out to that family and let people know about that event. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other comments before the board? Entertain a motion.
Mayor, I motion we go into executive session, KRS 61.8101F, personnel, discussion of an employee's request for a hearing. Action may be taken in open session.
Second.
All those in favor of going into executive session, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, we're now in executive session. Thank you all.
Can I have like a minute?
Now back in open session.
Mayor, I make a motion to uphold the city manager's recommendation and not proceed with the hearing.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this motion? If none, I'll just call for a voice vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign? Right, that motion passes.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.
See you all.
Bye, Rob. Commissioner.